everyone. Today we are going to start Unit 8E, Part E, or Lesson E, which is about global warming. So here we are going to discuss if the pollution is causing this climate change. Is it one of the reasons for us to go through this global warming, right? All these details you will learn through this lesson. So here you will be coming across words such as greenhouse gases, greenhouse effect. All these details are given in the short note I will be sharing in a little while. So let's see what is this global warming. Okay, so without taking you all throughout this whole text here, I have abstracted the most important facts that you need to know about this lesson, right? So for global warming, you can see from the sun, energy is reaching the earth's surface. And then what happens? Earth warms and gives off heat. Greenhouse gases trap heat and then earth becomes warmer. Right. What is called as greenhouse effect? When the sunlight enters the atmosphere, earth is absorbing the energy. And then earth emits infrared heat. And then what happens? Greenhouse gases trap some of the heat and earth stays warm. So let's look at this diagram I have taken from the textbook. So let's see this diagram and see how it happens. Now see, energy is transferred from the sun. It reaches the surface. Okay, it reaches the surface. And most of the energy is absorbed, causing an increase in temperature. Now what is this blue color line around the earth? This is our atmosphere. Now you can see some of the energy which is transferred are reflected back into the space. Then some emitted energy is transferred to the space. Some of the emitted energy is transferred now. Some are reflected straight away. Some are emitted to, and some of the energy is transferred to space. And the other energy, what has happened? The other emitted energy is absorbed by carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases and can be transferred back to the earth's surface. So imagine all this heat is coming and getting trapped inside this without it going back. So normally this is something that should happen. Otherwise our atmosphere, inside the atmosphere, it will be too cold for living things. For living organisms and other living all kinds of trees, plants and everything also to survive, it's too cold. So this warming should happen. But the problem is when this happens in this way, it traps unwanted heat, causing the temperatures to rise. This is the problem we have here. Right, next one. Let's see what is greenhouse effect. Now what is greenhouse effect? Without it, earth is too cold for life. And this is a natural process. Problem is too much trapping, like I explained before. What are the greenhouse gases? Carbon dioxide, methane and water vapor. So this is a small word that you can remember this. CMW. Just like BMW. Right? So C for carbon dioxide, M for methane and W for water vapor. So what do all these do? They trap warmth. So you just have to remember that. It's a mnemonic that you can use. Right. So why carbon dioxide is increasing? Now most of this is the greenhouse effect is caused by mostly by carbon dioxide. Now we should find out why carbon dioxide is rapidly increasing. What are the reasons? From cars it's emitted. Then from power stations, factories, cement production. Then Burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, gases, these are included in power stations, cars, factories also. So what happens from there? More carbon dioxide is released. And also when you go through deforestation is what? Cutting down trees. You destroy the forests. What will happen? Less of trees means less of carbon dioxide being absorbed. Is that clear?
Yes.
So if we have more trees, more carbon dioxide is absorbed and more oxygen is given out. But here when you keep on cutting down the trees, there are not enough trees to absorb the excessive or unwanted carbon dioxide, which is causing these carbon dioxide levels to increase. Is it clear?
Yes.
Right. Next one is, right, in the next one, I'm not that good at drawing, so don't laugh at these pictures. I have just drawn to show what are these things telling. So what are the evidences of global warming? One is the carbon dioxide levels rising, so which we can tell using the graphs given in your textbook.
Yes.
Right? So there is a graph in the textbook which shows how much the carbon dioxide levels are increasing over the time. Yes. So another one is ice caps are melting. So I have drawn an ice cube here with some water to show that ice caps are melting. Then when it melts, what is happening? Sea levels are rising. Sea levels are rising. And then what is happening to the glaciers? They are shrinking. And then overall average global temperature is rising, skyrocketing. Right. Next topic, effects of global warming. So here we have discussed, again we will discuss this. So higher temperatures are causing the ice to melt. Right, now what happens to the ice when you keep it in a cold in the freezer or fridge? Freezer, it will remain the same. Fridge, it will be a little bit like trying to melt because it's a bit having a lower temperature than the freezer. But if you keep it at the room temperature, what's happening? It will start melting. If you keep it at direct sunlight, what will happen? It will melt faster, right? Same thing that's happening because of global warming. Right? Anyway, normally this ice can melt, but this is powered too much by the higher temperatures, or it has increased this process because of the higher temperatures. Then when these ice melt, it's turning into water. So when it turns to water, where the water is flowing? To the oceans. So what happens to the oceans then? Sea levels, the water levels are rising. So when the water levels are rising, especially countries like Maldives, low level countries, what happened to those countries? They get flooded or they go through soil erosion after that. The whole area around the coastal areas will be washed off because the water levels are rising and it's coming inwards. It's coming into the country. So coastal cities will have floods. Then low level countries such as Maldives, they don't have much bigger space, no, and also it's not very high from the sea level. So then those countries will one day they are saying that if these go on like this, the first country to disappear or the first islands to disappear will be Maldives. It will disappear because the water levels rising means it will cover up the islands. So it's not just for one country, it happens to because of the people's way people are working and the things they are using and the pollutants it's producing. So these things are causing these harms for the entire earth, for everyone in the world, right? Some of the other things are more storms. Now one thing we noticed previously after we were hit by Ditwa is that there are many cyclones happening near the equator, which they said they have not witnessed it previously. But now there is a tendency, there are many cyclones happening near the equator. So one of the reasons they have found is this is happening because of the increasing temperatures of the sea water. If you take the ocean water, the temperatures have increased. So this is something that's causing more tropical cyclones to happen near the equator, which we have not witnessed previously. So things are changing very fast now because of these kind of issues. Then another thing is the droughts. Why? Too much of heat. Areas that don't get enough water, don't get enough rain, they are running out of water resources. And then what happens? There will be droughts. Then changes in rainfall. So even rainfall patterns are changing. Now Sri Lanka used to be a country where we have 2 monsoonal rain seasons. But now if you see, if you take the 12 months, like almost 9 to 10 months itself, we are experiencing rain. So now we can see that the rainfall patterns have changed. Then now this global warming again affects the habitats. So then habitat losses, because when they don't have enough water, when they don't have enough food, and when they don't have enough trees, what's happening? They are losing the habitats. They keep on moving. Right, then another one is extinction of species. Extinction means they don't live anymore. Their species are not living anymore. So their ones have come to an end. So when they lose their habitats, maybe they can't live in any other habitats. They are not adapted to live in other places. So what will happen? Eventually things are causing these species also to go for extinction. Right? So these are some of the effects of global warming. Now if you take the effect chain, how it happens, this is for burning fossil fuels. What happens? Carbon dioxide increases. Then what does it cause? Stronger greenhouse effect. Then higher global temperatures because of that. And then what happens? Climate change. Climate is changing. And then we have some of the definitions that you need to know. Greenhouse effect means trapping of heat by gases in atmosphere. What is global warming? Increase in Earth's average temperature. So don't mix up these words. Each of them have different so each and everyone has a different definition. So you need to remember and understand what each and everyone means. Okay. So then climate change means long-term changes in weather patterns. So if you take this overall thing, when you burn more and more fossil fuels, more and more carbon dioxide will be formed, and this will cause more warming.